The government of Canada legalized cannabis on October 17, 2018. Doug Ford's changed to booze sales in Ontario in 2024. Ford's government paid $225 million to beer store to speed up corner store sales. This means more drivers are driving while intoxicated. The frequency of impaired driving charges in Canada is staggering. Every hour, there are an average of 9 criminal charges and 206 short-term license suspensions for impaired driving in Canada. 8% of drivers reported driving after consuming alcohol, and just under 3% reported driving after using cannabis. The bad news? Canada's drunk driving deaths are still the highest across all developed countries. So Canada got serious about drunk driving. And when I say serious, they've taken unprecedented steps to tackle this issue head on and save lives. They rewrote the damn rulebook in 2018. This wasn't just a minor tweak, but a complete overhaul of the existing impaired laws. Why? Because impaired driving was, and sadly still is, a national crisis. Countless lives lost and families shattered. People are dying and getting hurt. It's a mess. Hospitals are overwhelmed and emergency services are stretched thin dealing with the aftermath of these preventable tragedies. These new laws, they're here to save lives, plain and simple. Drastic measures are needed to curb this epidemic. They cracked down on everything. How much you can drink, police powers, punishments, the works. From stricter blood alcohol limits to enhanced roadside testing, no stone was left unturned. Ignoring these changes is not just a bad idea. It's a one-way ticket to a world of legal trouble. The penalties are severe and the enforcement is relentless. So, next time you think about getting behind the wheel after a few drinks, remember, Canada isn't playing around. Remember the old over 80 rule? Gone. Now, if you're caught with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 80 milligrams of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood, or over, you're in trouble. That's like one less beer for some folks, maybe 2 for others. Doesn't sound like much? It's enough to land you a criminal charge, a hefty fine, a license suspension. You get the picture. The message is clear. If you're drinking, don't even think about driving. Remember that classic excuse? I only had 1 drink right before driving? Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. See, before, lawyers could argue that you weren't actually over the limit driving, even if you blew over later. It was a loophole big enough to drive a beer truck through. Not anymore. Now, they just need to prove you drank recently and were driving. So that one for the road? It could be one for the courtroom. Mandatory alcohol screening mass was implemented in Canada as part of Bill C-46, which came into effect on December 18, 2018. The law enables police officers to demand a breath sample from any driver they lawfully stop without needing to have reasonable suspicion that the driver has consumed alcohol. The goal is to reduce impaired driving incidents, which remain a leading cause of road fatalities in the country. Prior to MAS, police officers in Canada could only conduct breathalyzer tests if they had reasonable grounds to suspect impairment, such as the smell of alcohol or erratic driving. MAS eliminates this requirement, allowing police to screen all drivers they stop, including at routine checkpoints. This change aligns Canada with practices in countries such as Australia, Ireland, and Sweden, where MAS has contributed to significant reductions in alcohol-related accidents. The objective is to improve road safety. MAS aims to deter individuals from driving after consuming alcohol, knowing they can be tested at any time. Authorities can identify and penalize more offenders by testing a larger pool of drivers. This is to help change public behavior. MAS encourages drivers to adopt safer habits by increasing the perceived risk of detection. Initial data suggests that MAS has had positive effects. Reduction in impaired driving, a 2021 statistics. Canada report highlighted a decline in the number of impaired driving incidents since the law was enacted. Provinces like Ontario and British Columbia reported fewer alcohol-related crashes in the years following MAS implementation. Police are conducting more roadside tests, ensuring broader coverage. Despite its benefits, MAS has faced criticism. Critics argue that MAS infringes on individual rights by allowing police to conduct tests without reasonable suspicion. Some view it as violating the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Advocacy groups warn that MAS could exacerbate instances of racial profiling during traffic stops. Mandatory alcohol screening has proven to be an effective measure in enhancing road safety and reducing impaired driving in Canada. However, addressing the concerns of civil liberties groups and ensuring the policy is applied equitably are critical for its long-term success. So, what does this mean for the everyday driver? Be prepared to provide a breath sample whenever the police stop you for a lawful reason. MS represents a proactive approach to combating impaired driving, and with appropriate safeguards, it can serve as a model for effective traffic safety policy worldwide. Until the police knock on your door to tell you that your loved ones are not coming home because they were involved in an accident with a drunk driver, you have no clue what victims and first responders go through daily to keep the roads safe for everyone. Please play your part. Don't drink and drive. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.